Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me back to the university. Thought I kind of escaped this place last month, but I was wrong. So, a veteran. Veterans are the only protected group of Americans whose status is predicated upon a past work experience. No matter what age, race, sexual orientation, gender, religious belief, or ethnicity, veterans are discriminated against on a daily basis. While many Americans perceive veterans as maybe brave or fearless, heroic, selfless, or patriotic, many employers perceive veterans as lazy, unable to adapt to the private sector, or broken mentally or physically. They perceive veterans as a risk before ever giving them a chance. But given an opportunity, a fighting chance, veterans have a lot to offer. For example, me. I am no battle-tested warrior, but I am a veteran. I'm a veteran who loves serving my country more than anything else in this world. As a C-130 aircraft maintainer, I was considered a jack of all trades, but a master of none. My job was to know what everyone else's job was, inspect their work, and sign an aircraft off for flight. Imagine that for a second. A 20-year-old guy who just joined the military, came through basic training, went through technical school, and it's my responsibility to sign that aircraft off to fly. Sorry. It's a $60 million aircraft. It's a lot of responsibility. But if we go back a little bit, take a little walk in my shoes, just 5 months after arriving at my duty station, I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma cancer. I endured 6 months of chemotherapy here in Pittsburgh, and I returned to my Air Force Base down at North Carolina to wait out a medical review board. And I was found unfit for service any longer. They medically retired me. My dream career was over before it actually ever began. I laid awake many nights wondering, what now? How will I pay my bills? Where will I live? And what's next? At times, mental distress caused by forced separation was unbearable. I felt completely alone, like no one around me could possibly understand what I was going through or why this transition back to a civilian lifestyle was so difficult. I worked with the VA disability career advisor to apply to numerous jobs, and I received 0 calls back. But if you think back to 2008, there were a lot of veterans returning home from war. And to make matters worse, PTSD was an acronym that was associated with nearly every veteran that separated after 9/11. I ended up returning to a teenage job where I was a landscaper at South Hills Country Club and made $400 a week. That didn't pay the bills, and I knew I had more to offer to a company. By September 2011, I actually became a FedEx driver for a little bit, for 5 years. It wasn't what I wanted to do with my life, but it provided me the opportunity to be around people, have conversations, reevaluate my life, and set new goals. By September 2011, I enrolled in night classes at CCAC, where I was able to determine where my interest was. But the problem was, I loved everything that I studied. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I loved English and psychology and math and psychology, or physics. 2 years and 60 credits later, I realized that I would have to quit my job and transfer to Pitt if I wanted to get a 4-year degree. But it was a tough decision I ever made because the economy was terrible and I made a lot of money. So I did what any rational person did, and I quit my job. Becoming a full student at the age of 27 was probably even harder than transitioning out of the military. I was the old guy that no one knew. No one talked to me, and I migrated in the first week from the front row to the back row. Though it was difficult, I achieved at a high level, and since January of 2014, I successfully earned a Bachelor of Science and a Master of Public Administration here at Pitt. The lives of veterans are not easily explained. No two veterans have the same story. However, we all have the right tools and skills required to be successful. Today, I work at PNC Bank headquarters as a project administrator in technology and innovation with a public administration. Staying true to my values and personal strengths, I am once again the jack of all trades and a master of none. Instead of making sure airplanes are safe for flight, I ensure that technology projects stick to their timeline and meet the needs of PNC Bank. There are 3 things that I learned over the last 10 years that I feel are useful for everyone in this room because I feel like there's not many veterans. So first is know your core values. Staying true to your own personal values will take you far in life. When I face adversity, I fall back on Air Force core values: integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all you do. I tell the truth, even if it has consequences. I volunteer in the community whenever possible, and I prefer to complete tasks right the first time, every time. 2, know your strengths. Companies want to know how you can bring value to their business, not necessarily what you learned in the classroom. Be prepared to sell yourself on your experience, not on your experiences, not how well you were able to take tests. 3, seek out companies that will value you as an employee. If you have been listening to your career counselor, you have probably made contact with a recruiter from your dream job. And if not, today you have your opportunity to do so proudly. Learn about the culture, seek out alumni to learn about their experiences, and make sure that company is the right fit for you. Finally, I'll leave you with this. If you have a veteran in any of your classrooms or ever in your workplace, say hi. If they seem to be struggling, ask if they need help. That's it. Thank you.